conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, you can keep your conniving morning. When you've been a corrupt, in a bit every morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, in a bit every morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Yes, morning, neighbor, morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, I don't want you conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. A 2 pound note and a kill that piece. This is all the money that me walk for. I said money, neighbor, money, neighbor, money. Money, neighbor, money. Money, I don't want you conniving money. Oh, Joseph.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Tom's TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politician they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Beep, beep, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see. Sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, poor people governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At EC Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. Easy Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going.
All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know about we things in Buxton, don't play with we. So definitely, if you want to come and, you may be having a wedding or whatever, and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're going to be drunk. We got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come, drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also, for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. I'm sorry. That's it.
Introducing Club Twilight. For your lodging accommodations, restaurant, and cozy bar environment.
Come to Club Twilight Lounge. Location: Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
Make your reservations for weddings, birthday parties, and all your other special events. Living abroad or at home in Guyana, dial phone number 592-622-5933 to make your reservations. Visit Club Twilight and have an amazing experience.
Returning home to Guyana for your Christmas and New Year's celebration. Then, make your reservation now. Call phone number once again, 592-622-5933.
Come to Club Twilight Lounge location, Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
Club Twilight Accommodation, Restaurant and Bar. Pay us a visit. You will not regret it.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat Section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop, for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today.
It's true, you got me wrapped around your finger. Oh, honey, it seems like that's where I belong. You know how to hold me, thrill me, and control me. Just enough to keep me hanging on. Oh, honey, just enough to keep me hanging on. My heart is like a yo-yo string. I'm tied to you. I'm tied to you, right or wrong. My love keeps on growing, 'cause your love keeps right on showing. Just enough to keep me hanging on. Let me say it again. Just enough to keep me hanging on. A love as true as mine will make you do most anything, like hiding tears and heartaches, dreaming those silly dreams. Oh, honey, you got me where you want me, and you keep me stringing along. Just enough to keep me hanging on. Oh, honey, just enough to keep me hanging on. Oh, tell me why you. In the hustle of today, we love and proud to miss the little things that mean a lot. A word, a smile, a kiss. When a woman does a man, he's a hero in her eyes, and a hero he will always be if he'll just realize. She may be weary, women do get weary, wearing the same shabby dress. And when she's weary, try a little tenderness. You know she's waiting, just anticipating things she may never possess. While she's without them, try a little tenderness. You won't regret it. Women, don't forget it. Love is that whole happiness. It's oh so easy. Try a little tenderness. She may be You know she's waiting, just anticipating things she may never protect. While she's without them, try a little tenderness. While the choir sings Ave Maria, I was singing with all my heart, and I sent a special prayer up to heaven that you return to me before I fall apart. While the choir sings hallelujah, I was singing with all my heart. Darling, please come back and never leave me again. And this will be our answer to my prayer. And I'll wait here for the answer that you come back right away. For you stay away another hour, I don't think I could last another day. I was singing with all my heart. Darling, please come back and never leave me again. And this will be our answer to my prayer.
Hey, morning, are you morning? Morning, are you morning? Morning, neighbor, morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is 7 hours 37 on the 8th day of December in the year 2025. I am your host, Kidaki Amsa. How you been? How was your yesterday? How was your last night? How was your weekend? How was your Saturday? What did you do over the weekend? Did you take some time to get some extra income? What about those passive income? Did you make them work? What you do for yourself, that me ask you, man. And you talk to me. How it went down? Did you rest and recuperate? What were you able to achieve? Are you still reflecting on those resolutions you made? Are you reflecting on the electoral promises that were made to you? What are you up to? What are you doing? Talk to me. Me want to know, may I ask? Because it's necessary that, you know, if we claim to represent people, and if we claim to be working for people and the upliftment of people, we know what's happening with them. It's as simple as that. So like I usually say, most times I ask you these questions, I'm not just asking out of courtesy. I'm asking because I want genuine answers. How do you feel going into this? Is the second week of December. Those Christmas people got about 7 and 8 is 15. So you got about 17 days. Yes, 17 days to Christmas. That's a big to do for people. How are you feeling about that? Are you in the Christmas mood as yet? By now, you should be in the Christmas mood. I think when I was growing up, carols would have started since around the 15th of November. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm getting big and forgetful, you know? Right. But I don't hear carols in the atmosphere. I don't see children frolicking. Oh no, children would have been playing with toys, trust me. Right? Toys would have been around the place. Maybe them children would have gone and bring out their last year toys and so on and so forth. And so you would have started to get that feeling. In some places, you would have started smelling the black cake. Because I remember my mother and others baking the black cake early and got to just soaking it with liquor. Soaking it with rum, soaking it with rum, soaking it with rum. And so Christmas morning, it mellow. And it's highly intoxicating, you know. I tell you all the story. That same Abigail John, her grandfather, in Kitty, there was the John's Rum Shop. I think that is what it was called. But right at the corner of Gordon Street there on the western side, Gordon Street on the western side, Gordon and Alexander Street, that is. There's that building where Abigail once had GT, whatever the name, GT Wine. That's actually the name, right? Location. The location in Kitty. That was a rum shop. Our grandparents owned it, as far as I remember, and they were good friends to somebody I lived with in Kitty at the time. And we were invited over for Christmas or Old Year's or something. And them folks give me a black cake, boy. Oh, God. I was a youngster then. I get high. You hear what I say? You're tasting this liquor in this cake. And I get high. For years, I didn't eat black cake after that. Seriously. The black cake drunk me. And I stopped eating black cake. I don't like to be embarrassed, man. And when you're drunk, all kind of thing happens to you, and it's a form of embarrassment to you, you know, especially if you like, you don't care what you tell people and you tell them you like to talk the truth all the time. And so you have to be very careful with that. And so I had stopped eating black cake for quite a while. But yes, I know people would have been baking a black cake and you would have been getting the smell of Christmas in the air. People would have been soaking the, what we call the garlic pork and so on and so forth. What y'all doing? Talk to me. How prepped are you for the Christmas Day, Christmas week, all into Boxing Day, Old Year's and so on? How prepped are you? How much do you think you'll be able to do? Would you be able to do as much as you were able to do last year or the previous years? Is this the year you will really take my guidance and go and look for them curtains that you used 5 years ago and just recycle them instead of going and spend thousands of dollars, which you can ill afford, on new curtains? I can tell you, I went into my stash the other day and I found some curtains I haven't used about 3 years or so, 3-4 years, and I brought them out. And they will be utilized. So y'all don't think I sit here and tell you to do as I say and not as I do. I mean, there are people around me who defy the reasoning sometimes and they do their own thing. But as adults, you know, I can only guide you, I can only advise you. I can't hold your hand and, you know, beat you into subjection and so on. So however you see it, you see it. But the reality is, we have to learn to conserve. And in this time, especially this year when everybody is anxious about not getting the year-end bonuses that they are accustomed to, instead of What's the word I'm looking for? Instead of stressing yourself out, instead of frustrating yourself, just go back to your shopping list and amend it. Make some changes. And your shopping list in this instance, I'm talking about your entire lifestyle, quite frankly. Go back to your lifestyle and make some changes. Are you the one who has the most exorbitant lighting on your property at Christmas? The most exorbitant decor on your property at Christmas? The most expensive of everything? And so you will be strung out, if I can call it that, to maintain that facade, because for many people it's a damn facade. Right? So you're going to be strung out if you try to maintain that. Then just go back, examine it. Is it necessary? Who am I competing with? Who are showing off to? What is it gaining me when I overexert myself to pump scene? How does that empower me? Right? Yeah, from the outside everything looks good, but inside I'm stressing. I'm drowning in debt. I'm drowning in debt. Then GPL gonna send a whop of a light bill at the end of January for me, because of all them lights. Step back. Examine what you're doing. Examine why you do it. And make the necessary adjustments. I say you must behave like you're poverty-stricken. But if you're poverty-stricken, you must recognize that you're poverty-stricken. Because you're looking for healing unless you accept that you're ill. And so if you want to live like Mercedes-Benz in a donkey cart economy, so don't complain. Don't complain. But my advice to you is, in this hard guava season, because I know it's a difficult time. People are not crying loudly, maybe in the public sphere, but they're crying. They're crying to each other. Individually, they're crying out. And those of you, I should have gone on social media this morning on TikTok. Sorry. I don't know why I keep not remembering TikTok. And those of you on TikTok, you will see the evidence of people crying out. I mean, Guyanese and Caribbean people have a way of laughing at themselves. But that's kinty a joke. And so you go on TikTok, you see very frequently videos about people asking about the cash grant. When the cash grant paying, why they ain't paying the cash grant? I'm waiting for the cash grant. I got buy this, I got buy that. Y'all promised me the cash grant. And y'all gotta listen to the cries of the people. If you claim to be a government for the people, you gotta listen to the cries of the people. And don't go poking fun at them. I understand if First Lady had a diamond ball this weekend. And the president had a ball of a time. While the citizens are sucking salt. You turn a bird. I'm going to see how much wastage resulted from the diamond ball. Going to see how much wastage resulted. And I'm talking perhaps food only, food and drinks. Going to see how much 3/4 bottles or whatever, champagne, beer, water, whatever, you recollect from around the place. Going to see how much 3/4 plates of food you collect. Partially eaten food and so on and so forth. Go and check. And you see the wastage. Let us examine ourselves and remember that the lesser fortunate among us. And instead of being wasteful to pamper scene, we direct our our resources to change the lives of so many people. I saw the wind party over the Amerindian hostel. And I tell you quite frankly, if I were Amerindian in charge of the Amerindian hostel, I would be ashamed. I'd be ashamed. The next 10 generations should be ashamed of me. Because that is the way I treat my people. Nevertheless, it's Christmas. Y'all got 17 days. It's MP morning, so I'm expecting Dr. Professor David Hines, MP, the Honorable. But let Shadow tell y'all what's in my mind.
What's that song about gangsters?
Shadow said poverty is hell.
For real?
Whether you like it or not, I believe poverty is hell.
You know what makes my firm different? We focus on...
I get off my TV now, man, and let play my music. Why y'all always in people business? Poverty is hell. Yeah, poverty is hell. You know, over the weekend I was reflecting on poverty and what comes with it. Right? What comes with it? Being poor is one thing, but being unable to find a way out is another thing. It's generation after generation after generation. First generation poverty leads to uneducated and miseducated children, offspring, poor living conditions, poor education or no education, poor health or no health. Anger. There is so much anger in the society. People believe that, Guyanese are just stripping, but when I look at the source of the anger, as I want to call it, I recognize to a large extent. People are angry because they are so pressed and oppressed and depressed and frustrated, and they seem not to be able to find a way out of their situations. And that frustration becomes anger, and they take it out of each other. As I was saying just over the weekend, a friend say, the sad thing is the poor people and the oppressed and the ordinary man facing all of this strugglation, they're not attacking their oppressors. They're not taking this anger and this hatred out on the big wigs of government who sit there and dictate policies that cause further oppression and frustration to the people. They're not taking it out on them because first and foremost, they are far away from them. They can't get close to them. So they take it out on the people closest to them. Sometimes you see it showing itself up in the ill treatment of children, neglect of children, neglect of family, neglect of spouses, brutality. So it's not every time you hear about a matter of quote unquote domestic violence, whether against the children or spouses or adults, or violence against the neighbor and violence in the community and so on, is because the perpetrator is a violent person at heart. But sometimes it's the frustrations that they're acting out the only way they know how. Right? The only way they know how. And I would wish our social workers, I would wish our law enforcers and so on would take the time to get to the root cause of all of the violence and why this person acted the way they acted, when it might be a simple case that at least many of us see it as simple thing they got BS for. But that simple thing might be the straw that broke the camel's back. And if we take our times as leaders and social scientists and community leaders and representatives of the people and so on, and we take our time and we investigate these issues and we get to the underlying factors, I think we'll be able to formulate better policies. Aimed at not penalizing, but reforming in its truest sense and assisting people who are oppressed and depressed and oppressed and frustrated in our society. But as we have it, the system simply seeks to punish. You don't want to get to the root cause, because that might be very, very frightening and an indictment on you. But I wish we would, somewhere along the line, even today, start to look at the societal problems from different perspectives, different points of view. This person is not just a trouble magnet. Why this person became a trouble magnet? What are the circumstances? You know, especially when there are minors involved in crime, the magistrate, the judicial officers usually ask for a probation report. They try to find out the background of the child, the family the child came from, and you know what this child was like growing up, etc., etc. All right. I'm just alerting you. I sent you the link. Good. And when you understand the underlying factors, then the courts in many instances are then fully empowered as to how to proceed. Does this child need jail time? Does this child need to be placed in a facility where he or she can get a second chance or a third chance? Where the breakdown took place. And I'm recommending that, you know, especially in matters of violence, we need to take that approach so that we get to the bottom of it all. So that we can really engage in reformation rather than penalization, if there's any such word. It sounds strange. Penalization. Right? Rather than punishment. Good. So all of y'all were out there planning to live large at the Christmas, I want you to take those things into consideration. How it is you can ease your societal burdens on yourself to start with. And all y'all in government will promise the citizens cash grant if they behave themselves. I think it's time you come to the fore and address the concern of the people about their cash grant. When are they going to get their cash grant? Or if they're even going to get their cash grant. Because understand this, right? It's one thing to make a promise. That you don't intend to fulfill. But worse than that is to have people living in limbo. Right? Expecting that, oh, it might come true, it can come true, it might not come true. You promise the people cash grant is the 8th of December, they got 17 days to Christmas. Most of them would have been, as a matter of fact, you promised it before Christmas, perhaps. Most of them would have been looking to it. The promisers, those who made the promise, have a responsibility to come forth and say, we made this promise, but we are unable to keep it. Or we made this promise and we will keep it by X date or Y date. You will either get it or you wouldn't get it. And so people can move on with their lives. There are some people who are stagnant right now, not knowing how to go forth. We can get this money or we ain't gonna get this money. Listen, I want to change the stairs for my home. The stair is in a bad shape. I want to change the stair for Christmas. I got two options. I can go to the bank and take a loan, or if I get the cash grant, I can use the cash grant to do it. And so I'm sitting with clasped hands and closed eyes and praying that I get the cash grant, because if I get the cash grant, I don't have to go to the bank to take a loan. But I'm not sure whether or not I'm getting this cash grant. And so I'm waiting to get this cash grant. And if these people keep me in limbo, the next thing you know, Christmas is upon me. I can't change the stair because the application process at the bank to get the loan will take more than the several days or the few days I have remaining to Christmas. Whereas if it is made clear now that there is no cash grant to be paid or to be given, granted, whatever, then I can go right away to the bank and say, I gotta bite the bullet, as we like to say, and apply for this loan to change it. I just use that as a common example because that is what direct cash transfers are intended to do for people. Give them the ability, give them the opportunity to spend on things which they deem priorities that they might not be able to spend on a regular month-to-month basis because of the starvation wages which have been given to them. But you have a callous and caring government that is comfortable hosting Diamond Ball and masquerading around the place and putting up Christmas trees left, right, and center. All over a turn in this city in this country is a Christmas tree and some government compound and so. Right? Christmas trees alone don't make Christmas people. Christmas trees are the least of the things that will make people feel that they are celebrating Christmas and feel happy and jovial for the season and so on. Christmas trees are the least, I will tell you that. And so all of the millions, because I can guarantee it's millions they're expending, transferring millions of dollars to their friends and cronies and families and so on to put up and decorate Christmas trees around the place. And not a facade to give the impression that, hey, we are in a jovial time and the citizens are enjoying a rollicking time. The APNU coalition has, some people call it a protest, on the square of the revolution today. I think from 9 o'clock. Go out and join them and sound your voices say cash grant. It's a cash grant protest or a cash grant demand protest. APNU say we want $150,000 to each citizen 18 years and older. Go and sound your voice and see what responses you will get from the government. Whether they intend to pay, whether they can't pay, whether they will pay or not pay. I encourage you to do that. Good? Before I invite the doctor, the Honorable MP, let me play Sparrow for you. Sparrow say only a fool breaks his own heart. And sometimes every time I think about this situation, I'm tempted to believe that, we behave sometimes like a mighty set of fools. But here's Sparrow for you, mighty Sparrow. Only a fool breaks his own heart.
Up high quality.
It's 7 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. It's the 8th day of December in the year 2025. We tune to the Guyanese Morning Time. And I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. Here is Sparrow. Why don't we keep doing the same thing over and over again?
That I don't see when you walk with him down the street. Only a fool breaks his own heart. I have to admit it, even though you hurt me so. I can't forget it. If I'm a man, I'd let you go. It's no use trying. hang on to a love already gone. Only a fool breaks his own heart. I have to admit, even though you hurt me so, yeah, I can't forget it. If I'm a man, I'd let you go. There's no use trying to hang on to a love already gone. Only a fool breaks his own heart. Only a fool breaks his own heart.
A special dedication to all those who fell for the trick of the PPP. If you behave yourself, you're going to get cash grant. We're going to read my lips. You're going to have a beautiful Christmas. Note he didn't say Guyanese will have a beautiful Christmas, or y'all going to have a beautiful Christmas. He said we. He referred to those of them and those in the PPP. Professor Dr. David Hines, Honorable MP, welcome to the program. It's MP's morning, and so you're on.
Good morning, and good morning to you. Very apt song there by the Mighty Sparrows, bestseller. Sparrows, bestseller. Only a fool breaks his own heart. A Calypsonian, but his bestseller was that ballad, and it's a message there that goes beyond romance. Just want to say good morning to everyone. I noticed this Rhonda. Yes, sorry, I was muted. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to you. Quite an apt song there. Only a Fool Breaks His Own Heart by the Mighty Sparrow. Sparrow's bestseller. He sold the most singles ever in his long career starting in 1956. And the irony is that his bestseller is a ballad and not a calypso. And quite an apt song for what is happening in our country. I want to say, I think they're saying here that it's Rhonda's birthday. And happy birthday, Rhonda, Sagittarian. Lots of birthdays around this time. The early December. I remember this day, this time of year, I got confirmed as could take communion at the St. Augustine Anglican Church there in Buxton on the 2nd of December, 1967. I remember it well. It was a Friday afternoon. Taking communion. It must have been around 7, 8 at the time. So, it's a long time. All those Anglicans and Christians, good morning. You mentioned that there is the demonstration this morning at the Square of the Revolution, and of course we urge people to show up and to give whatever support you can to the effort. Now, one of the criticisms of the APNU between 2015 and 2020 was that we were not on the road. We gave up the road to the PPP. We didn't hold demonstrations. We didn't hold marches and so forth. And we might have been penalized by part of the electorate, being penalized by our own people for that. So it is good to see the APNU on the road on this issue of the cash grants. And I want to say that when we took that decision to go on the road on this issue of the cash grants, it was done against the backdrop of what you refer to as government making promises to people, or parties making promises to people and not keeping those promises. It's a cardinal sin in politics and cardinal sin in life. When we in the Working People's Alliance introduced the issue on the Guyanese political landscape in 2016, Professor Clive Thomas came to Buxton to speak at our Emancipation Symposium, the UC Guyana Emancipation Symposium, and introduced the subject of cash grants as a policy. Almost all the political actors pour cold water on it. All the political actors on all sides of the political divide. People began to raise questions that this sharing around of money is not going to be a good thing. But we stood firm on it, because when we introduced the cash grants, it was not just about sharing money. It was saying, look, we have a problem in our country, and we are now about to get oil revenues. And that problem is the problem of poverty. And that one of the best ways of dealing with poverty is to make resources available, funds available to people, those who are in poverty, and for them to use it as a means of dealing with their impoverishment. So we were not talking about giving money away to people. We were talking about making money directly available to people. Government makes resources available to people all the time. A lot of it is indirect. You know, we build roads, we build schools, all those things are resources, and we are making those resources available to people in an indirect way. That is, government is spending the money for the people. Whether the money came as a result of taxes, that's our own money, or it comes as a result of things we sell through trade, sugar, rice, oil. It's our money. It's the money of the citizens. When the PPP goes into office, it doesn't take money from the PPP and put it in the treasury. It goes in there to manage the money of the people, to make their conditions better. So government gives indirect grants all the time. They're doing things indirectly. 57% of our last budget, $1.3 trillion, went via infrastructure. That is, we are spending more than 50%, more than half of our $1.3 trillion budget on infrastructure, on roads, on bridges, and buildings, and so forth. And in that way, ostensibly, we are giving monies indirectly to our people. Now, most of those monies, most of that money from 57% of the budget is going to end up in the pockets of contractors who are going to be contracted to build the roads, build the bridges, and so forth. So it's a way, as it turns out, of indirectly giving money to a small class of people that we call contractors. Indirectly, we benefit from the roads because now we have better roads to drive our cars on and vehicles on, to bicycles, motorbike, to walk on. So there's some indirect benefit to people, a small, but the majority of the benefits from that indirect grant, that, because that's what it is, goes to this small group of contractors. So when we talk about cash transfers, we are talking now about a direct grant. So we are not going to spend this money for you. We're going to give you this money to spend for yourself. The government can see a bad road. The government can see the need for a new school building. The government can see the need for a new bridge. But the government is hardly likely to see the need, as you put it just now, for that roof that is leaking and that needs to be fixed. And because these persons are on a fixed income, and the income just allows them to do the minimum, they have not been able to plug that leak in the roof. And so the idea of the transfer is to give the money directly for them to use on things that the government is not able to do for them. They can now do it for themselves and make their choice. People talk about choice all the time. They say people make a choice to decide who to vote for and who not to vote for. Fair enough. But if they can make the choice for who to vote for and who not to vote for, they can make the choice about how to spend a sum of money. And so, therefore, for us, the cash transfer is a means to an end. It's not about giving people money to go and buy rum and so on. No. It is a means to an end to help to lift them out of impoverished conditions. So we say this grant should not be something you walk around and say, look a little freak. Christmas coming, look a little freak. We would prefer it to say, look, at the end of the year or in the budget, we are going to say, look, there's so much money that we have gotten from oil, or so much money we expect to get from oil, and we are going to divide that money among the population, or we in the Working People's Alliance prefer to take the money and divide it by household. Some people, this government said it is going to divide it by an individual. Each individual, and they estimate about 600,000 individuals, and that they're going to give it to individuals. Now, we can quarrel about whether it should go to individuals or go to households. But the fact of the matter is that we feel that the resources should go to people for them to use directly. And we feel the best way to do that is to make it systematic. Let me explain what I mean. You go to work, and your employer is not deciding to pay you, oh, today's Wednesday, I'm going to give you your pay. Or I'm going to pay you when I get money. There's a fixed date. Whether you're getting this money every 2 weeks, whether you're getting every 15th of the month, every 20th, you're getting this income, and you are expecting the income to come. So you're able to plan what to do with this income, because you know you're getting this income every 20th of the month, every 25th of the month, or you're getting this income every 2 weeks. And so we see the cash transfer as a payment and an income, a supplemental income, a fixed income that you're expecting. And that is why we are saying that we would prefer at the end of the year, or the end of every 6 months, or end of every 3 months, however they want to do it, that you give people this money as a fixed income, a basic income. They can expect it. We in the WPSA take 10% of the money each year. And whatever that comes to, you divide it among the individual citizens or the individual households, and you give it to people as income. I want you all to hear me very clearly this morning. Not as a handout. To give this money as a supplemental income, to supplement what you have, what you're earning, this will now supplement your income. This, if you're not working, this will be a basic income that you're getting. If you're an old age pensioner, this cash transfer is a supplement to your old age pension. So it's not a freck we're talking about here. All right? You pass it by law, you go to parliament, and you say that people will get this cash transfer, you know, whether you want to be a specific and say every year or every 3 months, but you do it in such a way by law that people expect this income that is coming to them. That is how we in the Working People's Alliance see this thing working. Not a freck, it's an income. And it's not something you get willy-nilly. It's something that you get in a structured way, like your paycheck or your old age pension. Unfortunately, this government, which pours cold water on this idea when we first, the WPA first introduced it, they said it can't work. In fact, only recently, Minister, I think Vikram Bharat, says the failed thing, it can't work. But what can't work is the cash transfers that they are doing, which is they decide, we're going to give a freck in February. We're going to get a little 100,000 in February. That can't work. That cannot be sustained. Cash transfers can be sustained when they are structured, when they're done by law, when people can plan their lives expecting this income, this supplemental income. Eventually, we would like to call it a universal basic income. So that at a basic level, people can expect this income every 6 months, every 3 months, every year. That's why it's called a universal basic income. It's an income. I want us to learn that this morning. That this cash transfer from the perspective of the Working People's Alliance and the APNU is not a freck, it's an income. A supplemental income. So the PPP is right. If you're walking around the place and every 2 years you give people a little $100,000 because you want them to say, the PPP is helping us, that is not going to work. And how do I know it's not going to work? Well, the reason we are going out to protest today is that at the election, the PPP said they're going to give this cash transfer by Christmas. They didn't enshrine it in the law. They said they're going to give it. And Christmas is coming, and people have begun to plan their lives based on this income. But here's the story. You don't know whether you will get it. You don't know how much it's going to be. So you really can't do any plan. That's why Sparrow says on your fool breaks his own heart. That is why the WPA is saying, the APNU is saying also that, look, you can't get people playing them like fools. So we are going out to demonstrate in solidarity with the people of Guyana who are expecting this cash transfer. But we are also going out to demonstrate, to say that you can't have people living like that. A rat comes out from his hole every night looking, expecting to find some scrap food. And sometimes that rat finds food, sometimes it doesn't. So when you get people living like this, you're getting them living like rats. So we are saying we are in solidarity with the people. we're saying the government promised us this thing, and we expect to get it. But we are also going out to demonstrate, to make the point that the way the PPP is doing this cash grant is hurting people. Because you end up with people planning their lives, expecting this thing, and you are not likely to give them. You have no intention of giving them. And thirdly, we are going out to demonstrate, to say to the government that we want this thing to be structured. We want it to be done by law. We want to know in advance that we are getting this income, this added income. So those of you who think we are just going out there to demonstrate and to say, well, you must get $100,000 or whatever and think, no. We are going out there to demonstrate to the government that the way government works is a structured way. We are going out there to demonstrate, to say that people must not live in limbo. We are going out there to demonstrate, to say that cash transfer is not a freak. It's an income. So, sisters and brothers, we have to begin to make the government a structured initiative. Government must be structured. Government must be structured. Cash grants, cash transfer, we prefer to call it cash transfer. Cash transfer must be structured because it's a basic income. It's an income that you're added income you're giving to people. And when we consulted our economists this past week, they advised us that given the cost of living, given the capacity of the government, financial-wise, at a minimum, they think that this coming cash transfer should be $150,000 per person. Should be $150,000 per person. Using the $600,000 that they give, that it should be $150,000 at a minimum. And that is after looking at all the numbers, looking at cost of living, looking at the income workers get in the private sector and the public sector. We are saying at a minimum it should be $150,000 for this one-off cash grant. But going forward, we would like it to be structured. If you're saying, look, you're going to get 4 cash grants per year, let us know that every 3 months, March, June, September, December. And the cash grants will be based on the income that is coming in on that year, and a percentage of that oil income that will decide whether it's 150,000, whether it's 200,000, whether it's 300,000. That will be determined by the formula that is being used. So we are going out there in solidarity with people who were promised, and the promise is not being kept, and to say to government, you must keep your promise. But we are going out there to highlight to people that cash grant is not a plaything. It's something, those of us who thought about it, is something to be structured. And so we are going out there to highlight that. In short, we are going out there to put government on notice. To put government on notice that if you don't govern in a certain way, then we are going to do what people all over the world do when government is making them a fool, when government is playing around with their money, and that is to let the world know with our bodies and our presence in the public space, that this is how we would like things to be done. From our own standpoint as the WPA, we welcome the demonstration, because if we had any criticism of what transpired in the 5 years leading up to the 2025 election, was that we did not hold enough demonstrations. We did not go enough on the road. We're not looking for the perfect demonstration. 10,000 people, 20,000 people. We are looking to begin a political culture, to bring back the culture of people holding the government to account on particular issues and on the general notion of governance. So we commend to you the demonstration today, and you say, well, Dr. Hines, what is the outcome of this? Because sometimes our people say, well, all we do is talk. And then we say, well, Lord, we go in addition to talk, we now go on the road. And they say, well, when you go on the road, what is the objective? And as we say, the objective is particular. That is, you make a promise to people, fulfill your promise. The objective is general, to say the way you are doing this cash grant thing is the wrong way. And here is the alternative way. And thirdly, to reintroduce the culture of public demonstrations. So there are three objectives. Now, so people need this money. People are already planning. It's Christmas. Wherever we say, we take our Christmas seriously. We still do that. We spend more money at Christmas than we would normally spend, because it's the season of goodwill. $150,000 is not much, but it can help you to get a better Christmas than you would get without $150,000. We would have preferred it to be more in a structured way, so that you spend some of it on Christmas, and then you take the rest of it and you spend it on something that you were waiting for a long time to spend it on. And that is why the Working People's Alliance, we are saying we have had one cash transfer, 100,000 last year. We are saying that you should get a second one now at Christmas, because you promised it. But what we would have preferred is that after the first cash transfer, to do an audit of the transfer, to find out, was it enough? What was the impact of it? Did the system you use to share it out, was it the right system? How many people were left off? We pointed out that this 18 years and over, we don't like it, because it leaves out a percentage of our population. Young people below 18 who got children. They and their children are left out because the cash transfers are 18 and over. So we do an audit, find out how many people are in that category. How many people are below 18, young people with families who are left out. So this audit is partly a performance audit, but an audit of the architecture of the cash transfer itself. If you're a government undertaking a big thing like cash transfer, you're doing it for the first time. You want to know whether you did it right. Who were left off? That should be on. Was the amount enough? Did it make any difference in people's lives? So the WPA is saying, put a team of experts, put them together and let them do this audit of the first transfer and to tell the government whether it was done the correct way and how it could be improved. Had the government done that, it would have been in a better position to determine when and how much the second transfer should be. So we want to put that on the table, that this thing must be audited, this thing must be assessed. Because like I said, for us, it's not a freck. It's an income. You're giving people a supplemental income. Ultimately, we want it to become a universal basic income that you can expect to get. But we have to know what happened. I am included in that 600,000. I have not uplifted my grant yet. An audit will tell where my money is, where my $100,000 is, in whose pocket it has gone to. I haven't picked it up. And I've deliberately not picked it up. Is the government going to call me and say, Dr. Hines, based on our audit, you have not picked up your cash grant of $100,000? I am waiting for that call. And so many other people who, for whatever reason, have not been able to pick their stuff up. How does the government know that the money going directly to people's account would be the best way? And how many people will be affected because they don't have a bank account? Bank accounts are difficult to start in Guyana. So we don't know these things unless we do a full audit of the first cash transfer. WPA is saying here in my name this morning that we are demanding such an audit going forward. So I want to stop there and take your calls, your questions, your comments. Good morning. I see my brother, Leon Saddle, is on this morning, brother from Ansgrove. Good morning to all the people from Ansgrove. It's one of my favorite places.
Leon, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you and all my black brothers, sisters. Good morning to you, Mr. David. Welcome back.
Thank you.
First thing first, Flash is responsible for what he said, not how you interpret it. Let me say this to you, Mr. David, and you could answer me when I finish. You said all 80%. Well done. But Flash Garden going to put in it 20%. Make it 100 today. I would love to see that, seeing that you now, you in charge spiritually, you going to take us to the promised land. I tell it many, many times, but they did not believe Flash because Flash got first grade education. That you going to act the role of Joshua. I would love to see 1 week when Parliament open and all this nonsense settled. That 1 week, you and your 11 disciples going parliament with African print 1 day a week. We got to start somewhere and introduce our culture, identity, and dignity. So the little ones would come behind. The parents going to make African clothes for them little one go to school, so they will grow up wear African pants or African shirt. It is time. We got to start. Let me mention these words too. Concern that $1 million for all household. You open whole cancer one for Flash Garden. Flash Garden did not born with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Flash Garden pray and ask God for bless me with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because when you receive those blessings from God, you will do the right thing. I got proof from the word of God. When a servant come and said, Lord, to the king, 2 women fighting for 1 baby. He said, yes. He said, go and bring a sharpest sword. Let me cut that baby and give them 1.5 and half. But one of them responds, the first one that responds to that, she said, yes, kill the baby, give it 1/2 and half. But the next one, she said, no, give her the baby. Because in our mind, or spiritual mind, God give me a baby and he will give me a next one as long as I do the good thing. Don't kill the baby. This is where wisdom, knowledge, and understanding come in now. The king said, woman, this is your baby. Take your baby and go. And run the other one who said, kill that baby. No. If Mr. Granger and Mr. Armand and Mr. Winston Jordan be only rule us and demonstrate wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he would have give Mr. Winston Jordan, would have give Mr. Clive Thomas appointment to say, buy me here something by you saying, come sit down with me, let me talk about everything. For the people's sake, all three of them was running the country. Why they could not put policy in place that black people don't have to go today and protest for their own money? Therefore, God make it possible for them three, give them the key for victory for all Guyanese, where better life come and bright future for all Guyanese. And they refuse. Mr. Winston Jordan just come and lecture us every Thursday. I just listen, yes. But you fail us, Mr. Winston Jordan. You could have put policy in place with Mr. Clive Thomas and give that money out. You could have put for 10 years. Because tomorrow promised to Flash Garden, neither today in front of Flash Garden, I could come out the floor next to me there, you all in Flash Garden died. How Mr. Winston Jordan, how Mr. Armand, how Mr. David Granger. Look at suffering for black people today. And the children got to drink sugar water. And black man got to run behind one criminal to represent them today. Mohammed. I blame it today. I blame it all three of you guys, black men. David Granger said, black man go drink all their money. And we understand, damn with that. Let them do what they want to do. Their money is their own. Why? Because my grandmother said, you make your bed hard, you will lay up on it hard. If you make it soft, you lay on it soft. But you guys denying us our rights. All three of you guys, I got no respect anymore, man. It grieves my heart. When me drink milk tea and my black brother and sister and baby cannot drink milk tea all day, and y'all coming and lecturing every week. But Mr. David, you are there to take us to the promised land. Don't give it up. Because you're going to aim him out when we come home next year. Continue to fight for us. You're born and growing it. Continue. And I pray that everything go well today. We got to do something, man. Our children punishing. Our young men and young women denying it what God blessed them with. Education. Every time Jack, you open your mouth, oh, we don't have people for work. 23 years. It's black people stay in Guyana and build it. Now you want to tell me you don't have people to work because you want to continue to punish us. It will stop. And it will stop. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, brother. And thanks for invoking the name Clive Thomas, Dr. Clive Thomas, who is not the innovator of cash transfers. Cash transfers were done in other parts of the world, but he is responsible for introducing it into our modern political conversation. And today the cash grants represent the most popular policy initiative that has been laid on the table in the last, I would say, 2 to 3 decades in Guyana. People, as you can notice, have wrapped their minds around the cash transfers. People have embraced it. It is the most popular policy initiative that has been put on the table to deal with the question of poverty in Guyana. People like to talk about development. You know, before you can have development, you have to deal with poverty. We are hearing now that a poverty rate is as high as 56%. We had thought it was 48%. We are hearing now that it is as high as 56%. That's a crisis. And what Professor Clive Thomas put on the table was an initiative that, if crafted into policy, can begin to carry poverty down. And as poverty go down, then we can begin to talk about development of people. So people now have an direct income and an indirect income. They have the income that they go to work for, and then they get an income based on what their labor has produced. As that, so thank you, my brother, for invoking the name, and every Guyanese should invoke that name, Professor Clive Thomas. People often ask of small parties like the WPA, what WPA bring to the table? And sometimes you bring votes directly to the table. Sometimes you bring votes indirect. Because every man, woman, and child that embrace the idea of the cash transfer, those are indirect votes that you bring. So WPA, a small party, may not be able to bring directly. You know, you have to have the machinery to go out and mobilize people. But we are mobilizing people by coming up with ideas and showing them how these ideas can get them out of poverty. So I want to thank you and want to dedicate our remarks this morning to Professor Clive Thomas. And he has been doing this now for 6-7 decades. He's now 88 years old. He attends WPA executive meeting every week. He doesn't miss an executive meeting. At age 88. So he's still fighting and still giving us ideas. And when he came up with it, everybody said can't walk, you know, as Flash Gordon said here this morning. We now know it can work if you work it well, because people embrace it. As it regards to the African wear, I support it. You can't tell people what to wear, but I lead by example in that regard. I was in Maryland to be with my family for Thanksgiving, and I was called by a small business called Buxton Chic. They specialize in dashiki and other African wear. And, you know, she said, David, come, I have your clothes. And I'd walk with a small carry-on suitcase when I was going. I had to go and buy a suitcase because she's give me my cash transfer of African clothing. She said, I'm decking you out there for Parliament for the next 3 months. And in 3 months' time, please come back for your thing. I don't have the number for that business with me now, but tonight on my program, I am going to give you the number for that business so that you can support it. They have African wear. They will ship to you anywhere in America, anywhere in the world. We'll ship them to you. But rest assured that I will be using African attire as my attire for Parliament, both as my personal choice, but as Flash Gordon said, in a symbolic way, to say that we live in a country that is multicultural, multi-ethnic, and that African people are important too, and to use African wear in the National Assembly as a means of affirming the African section or the African part of our identity.
I have a couple of voice notes. Let me play the first one.
Morning, Brother Kidaki. Morning, Honorable Dr. David Hines. We miss you for a couple of days, well, man. And you're welcome back home. Anyhow, this cash grant that this installed PPP government, this man with 19 fraud charge, was parading himself on his political platform, kangarooing himself. That Guyanese will have a beautiful and a wonderful Christmas. Come on, buddy. Y'all didn't want to listen to us. You still gotta go and represent y'all now. The 12th that was diminished from the opposition and government of this Cooperative Republic of Guyana today. Black people, when are we gonna wake up? When are we gonna wake up? Now the installed president promised y'all cash grant. He fool y'all all who support the PPP installed government. What's what happened today? The same happened. And the 12th gotta go there and represent y'all. For y'all have a wonderful Christmas that the installed president speak and brag and boast about. Come on, Guyanese. When are we gonna wake up? I show this Carly, this cash gun that he promised y'all, that he fool y'all. I hope y'all wake up from this, because local government election is coming around the corner. And I want all y'all realize y'all mistake that y'all make in the last election. And I hope y'all capitalize on it and pull off this local government election. And let me get back where we're supposed to be. Guyanese people, black people wake up. Black people wake up. Black people wake up. Black people wake up. Black people wake up from your slumbering bed. Black people. Anyhow, big up to all social media that got this government on their knees. Big up to all everybody, especially Mr. Caesar and Mr. Paul Slow. Mr. Paul Slow, like how we knock the hammer, like how we knock the hammer on the right nail. Friday gone there. Yes. This man thief the law book. And look how this man trying to go around this law book. This man read this law book upside down. We have a lot of criminals in parliament at this moment, and this man saying, look at Mohammed. You know, cause one of the most biggest embarrassment in our parliament, they have a president in there who have 19 fraud charges, and all the rest of them is alleged. All of them have charges against them. And your viewers, have a blessed day. We'll continue to say some other beautiful day. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning, family. I would like to, for Dr. David Hines, who is a professor in history, to not only teach history, but to teach history from the position of why things happen and not just what happened in history. People need to understand the reason why certain events take place. We can't just focus on just the events. The other thing is the cash grant. When the announcement for the cash grant was made for the Christmas, it was conditional. And the condition was we had to behave ourselves. Maybe like Father Christmas, Guyanese were not told exactly that you did not behave yourself. This is the reason why the cash grant, or you're not getting the cash grant for Christmas. But then, as a country, we must recall that when it comes to giving Guyanese money, right, it is not easily given because some persons are still with their things waiting on the COVID cash grant. And for some people, little things means a lot. Good morning and thank you.
Good morning, Kadaki. I'm just sending, today is my birthday, so all the best. Tomorrow we're gonna talk.
Good morning. Knowing the track record of the PPP, they will try hard as possible not to give that crash grant this year because they know next year local government election is due. So they want to try to give 2, 3, and 4 to get local government vote. Guyanese, open your eyes. If there was an election this December, be sure every man jack would have get a cash grant, 150, 200,000 in their pocket all now. But because there is no election due anytime close, or there is no nothing like push them against the wall, to embarrass them or to make them look bad, so they will use it as a distraction. PPP does not give cash grant unless they want to distract you or they want your vote. So, and there is none of the above right now. So, like when the Sugates thing will something like that, then we also give cash grant. You understand? But apart from that, like when the gold smuggling interview had come out with Travis Chase and the fellow, talk about the corruption with number 1 and number 2, things like that, they also to give cash grant. But right now, they may not give no cash grant because there is not they want to distract you from right now. Too much, a lot of distraction done in the place. So PPP don't really care to give no relief to people to ease the hardship and the cost of living, because more the country poor is better for the PPP because they're capitalizing on it.
Mr. Gadaki, a pleasant good morning to you and the Guyanese viewers and listeners around the world. We, African, some of us, we cause this upon ourselves, the disrespectfulness from the people them that come as indentured slave, who drop out the sky and just a quiet thing, bullying people and take what they have. And we mind too soft for them. Because in some country, they are also run under the rocks and defend the place under there. Because if Coffee Bean fight for us and put us on the patch mechanism, and these crab dogs could come and take away what we had in our hands. And then the main thing that I come on this program to talk about, this Rasta man that always come on board and talking down black people. Dress up in PPP attire and talking a set of bullshit. People like them cast we today where we at. But he's gonna learn because dead and done, crying done. And we'll never forget that jackass that coming on board on the on programs and talk a lot of stripping is the ethnic relationship start out. Because when you talk about hungry belly, it's tools are given the other side for use against us. Peace out.
All right, there you have it. Those are the voice notes. It's now 3 minutes past 9 o'clock. Professor Dr. David Hines MP, the mic is now yours to respond, share more information, wrap up, all in one.
But just to wrap up, to say that join the demonstration if you can this morning at the Square the Revolution. As I said, we fell short in the previous 5 years, 20 to 25, on the question of public demonstrations. And that's one of the things we've begun to correct. We're on the road. People would notice that teams have been going into the communities on what they're calling outreaches, because one of the things we learned is that we didn't do enough outreaches, go in and listen to people. The WPA is going to put on the APNU agenda the question of people's parliaments, where our 12 parliamentarians go into communities and ground with our people, to find out from them what they want representation on. There are all kinds of things. Some people can get their old age pension. Some people need public assistance. Some people they have problems with NIS. Those are representational issues as parliamentarians. We have to be able to represent our people, to make representation for our people. And so that's part of our job. And we can only know what people want representation on by going into the communities. So it's not just the outreaches are meant to go in there and to have our presence, people see us, and then our parliamentarians should go to work. We are not a full-time parliament. We are in parliament every day. But in between the sittings of parliament, we ought to work. And part of the work is to go into the communities. People must see not one parliamentarian, they must see all 12 of us. And we must be there and accessible with our assistants and so on, who are going to be able to say, this person needs assistance with NI, this person needs, that is part of our job. So WPA is going to put on the table these people's parliamentary sittings. So we're not sitting in the parliament every day, but we should go into the communities and sit there. Secondly, we want to then hear from people what they think we should put on our agenda. What should be a priority? What should be? We are working in our parliamentary group on a parliamentary agenda. We have already put some issues on the order paper and so on, to be discussed, debated in parliament, and hopefully come up with laws, come up with motions, come up with questions and so on. We have begun to do that. But we want to hear from people who matter. We want to hear from you what should be on the agenda. What should be priorities on the agenda. And then third, and so that is lawmaking, the lawmaking job of the parliamentarian. And then we want to hear from you your experience with government. People have been flocking me to tell me about problems they're having with land. There seems to be still a problem despite what the government is saying about housing. You know, people, I just got a call yesterday from a young lady who said she and her workmates, they applied the same time. The workmate get through, she went in and they told her they can't find her paperwork. There's no paperwork for her. And our workmate testified that we both applied the same time. I think let's give them a slip of paper or something. So those are issues that we as parliamentarians have to investigate, because we are what you call the oversight of the executive. And so when government is not working, we have to be able to investigate and identify the areas where the government is not working. The three functions of the parliamentarian: representation, oversight of the other two branches, and lawmaking. And so WPA is going to propose to our caucus that we come into the communities and hold people's parliament. You know, the last time we had a sit-in was the opening on November 3rd. And now is a month, 5 weeks later. We haven't been called back into Parliament, but we have to do work in between, and we have been doing work. We started. This demonstration today came out of the parliamentary group, and we were able to consult with our experts, people like Winston Jordan and so on. I think were consulted on this matter. So we are working together, the parliamentary group, the parties, our experts, because we have learned our lessons. We can't work separately. We have to work together. And as I said, the parliamentary group, we meet every week. Every week. We meet every week. We have a statutory meeting. I am the lone WPA representative in the group. There are 11 PNC people. But I am given my fair share of opportunity to share my views and to participate. The first time since we have been doing coalition politics with the APNU starting in 2010. And in the early days, under the leadership of Robert Corbyn, we played an equal role to other parties, and there were some disappointments after then. And now I can report that the WPA is playing its role. You know, I as a representative of the party, I go there and I make representation, and I am given an ear. I am part of the decision making. We planned this demonstration today. I was part of the planning, the decision that we are going to go forward. So I want to report that there is a change, you know, in the way we work together. Because one of the things that happened run up to the last election, there was a perception that we weren't working together, that we were fighting down one another, rather than working together. As you can imagine, I am going to have disagreements with my colleagues on particularity of issues, on methodology, because, you know, we all come from different political tendencies. And that is good. Diversity is good. But we must not make diversity an enemy of progress. We must use our diversity to strengthen and enrich what we do. And that is what we are doing in the parliamentary group. So it's a division of labor. The political parties have their role to play, and they must continue to play their role. PNC, WPA, the other groups in the APNU. But as a parliamentary group, we have our side of the work to do. And I think if we continue this practice, we are going to be able to give a better showing of ourselves. You know, mistakes were made in the past, and one has to acknowledge that. But you move on. You learn from your mistakes, and you move on. And so part of my coming here on Monday mornings is to report and to get your insights. Brother advised me that as a historian, I must not just talk about events, but talk about why events happen. And I thank him for that advice. I hope that I have been discharging that in the classroom. And now that I am not in the formal classroom, I'm still teaching. I'm teaching a course now called Introduction to Pan-Africanism. I think we are into our 6th week. And a lot of it is history, but all of it is about what created history, and not just dates and places and names. I was taught that since I was a little boy in 2nd standard by Kwesi and Kofi, that history is not dates and places, but it's about events and developments that lead to a particular date, a particular event, a particular leader. I learned that since I was 6 years old, 7 years old, in Kwesi and Kofi class, second standard. But I'm glad the brother reminded me that when you teach history, it must be about events. Again, thank you very much for having me this morning. Happy birthday to Rhonda. And I'm going to be on tonight on Politics 101, taking a week off, and I think I'm refreshed now and ready to go again. So tonight, we're going to be on Politics 101. Thank you very much, Brother Kadaki, and thanks to your audience for having us this morning.
Thank you, MP Hines. Thank you viewers for tuning in. It's now 40 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour, and I want to leave this one for Rhonda. Happy birthday, sis. I ain't gonna ask the age, I just playing this one for you. Sam Cook, I big up yourself and keep running your prayers. Long life and good health. I wish you all you wish yourself.
She was only 16, only 16. I loved her so, but she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. We'd laugh and we'd sing and do the little things that made my heart glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. Why did I give my heart so fast? It never will happen again. But I was a mere lad of 16. I've aged a year since then. She was only 16, only 16, with eyes that would glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. Then why did you give your heart so fast? Boy, it never will happen again. But you were a mere lad of 16. I've aged a year since then. She was only 16, only 16, with eyes that would glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. But she was too young